First off, we appreciate Ball State coming down to play us. When we scheduled this game, when you have friendships and relationships with the other staff and just the connections that Ball State staff has with Xavier, there's kind of a lot of emotions kind of that you kind of feel throughout the preparation, kind of leading up to it, and even honestly in the game. And I have a lot of respect for James Whitford. I spent a year together here at Xavier during my first year. He does a great job. He's a terrific man, great coach. He runs a really good program up at Ball State. Ben Botts, I said he was our GA, back in the day. He's doing a terrific job. He's got a really bright future as an assistant. And Bill Comar, who served as director of basketball operations here at Xavier for a long time under Thad Matta and Sean Miller. So they're going to win a lot of games. I thought tonight we got off to a little bit of a rough start. I think they won the first 4-minute war 7-2. I just didn't think our energy was there, wasn't right. I got to get our guys right to play, but I thought our guys really bounced back. It's one of the nice things about having depth is you can find the guys that are ready to play. And I thought when we put Zach and Jack, and I think it was DeJuan in there, when we subbed those guys in there to start that second war, I thought it really changed the game. Our ball pressure was really good. We knew kind of going into the game that they're a really good shooting team. They passed the ball extremely well. We had to pressure them to slow their offense down, and I thought we did that for most of the game. On the other end, we got to cut down our turnovers. I keep on saying it, and I feel like I'm a broken record right now, but 18 turnovers is ridiculous. We got to figure that end out, or it's gonna hurt us. We had 21 assists. I thought our ball moved. I thought we really tried to share the basketball, play the game the right way. I thought we played with a really good pace tonight, which I'm proud of. But we got to take care of the ball.
Travis, you said yesterday in your pregame press conference that Zach had his best practice since coming back. And obviously tonight we got to see the Zach Fremantle that was picked first team All Big East in the preseason. What did you think of the way he played tonight? And that had to have been nice to see him do that again after he's been away from the game for a while.
Yeah, the thing I'll say about Zach is he knew it was going to be a little bit of a process to get back to where he normally is. We kept on telling him it's not going to happen overnight. You got to knock that rust off. He hasn't done anything in 4 months. We're all accustomed to that Zach Fremantle, right? Like you said, he's a first-team All-League player. I think he's the best front-court player in the Big East. But I thought he stayed positive throughout this whole process. Didn't get frustrated. Hasn't gotten down. Again, he obviously wants to play better than maybe he played against, I think it was Central Michigan and Oklahoma State, right? But I thought he got better from Central Michigan to Oklahoma State, and then obviously you see a progression here into this game. So he's playing really well. I thought he rebounded the ball well. He's shooting well. He's playing at his own pace. I thought he took really good shots. He's not forcing anything. He's trying to share the ball. I think he finished with 4 assists. And you have him and Jack out there together, man. We have elite size and elite skill and just so much flexibility there on the floor as mismatched guys. So proud of Zach. But I always say listen, success isn't always just linear. Right? You could take a step back. It's about just sticking with it. I think I told him today when I had my individual meeting with him, the numbers and everything will bear itself out over time. He's a great player. Just got to stick with it, which he has.
Do you think tonight's game was a little bit of a glimpse into what you guys can do when everyone contributes and has a hand in a game the way that they did tonight?
Yeah, we got a lot of depth. I think we are, as long as our ball's moving and we have good spacing on the floor, I think we're going to score a lot of points. We have to continue to be committed on that defensive end, which we were tonight, I thought, other than the first 3 minutes of the game, right? I thought for 37 minutes we were pretty stinking good. And they got a couple layups there in the second half off some drives, but I thought overall we were pretty good on the defensive end. But I do think we just have a lot of different guys who can do it. We have a ton of depth, and I keep on telling all of our guys, listen, we all have to sacrifice in order to win. It's part of it. But we got a chance to be a really good team as long as we keep everybody on the boat and everybody moving forward.
Travis, you've talked a lot about taking advantage of the easy ones and getting the points you can that are the best for you. Tonight, your guards, 17 rebounds combined between Paul and Colby to get the fast break going for you guys, had 24 points off turnovers. How big is a night like tonight for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, I thought our ball pressure created a lot of offense off of our defense, playing the passing lanes. I thought we got a ton of deflections. Even a couple times, maybe like DeJuan didn't get the steal, but he created the turnover because they saw him there, right? I loved that part, and then I loved our pace. I thought we got the ball out quick when they did score. We got a couple rim run over the top, passes to Freman and Jack early post. Love that. Just love the way that our ball moved. I thought I moved that way for the whole game. Sometimes what happens when you get up, guys start going a little bit more, hey, can I get my points, right? Can I get my shots? I didn't think we had that at all tonight. I thought our guys moved it the whole game.
You had quite a few sets tonight where you used Zach and Jack together. Kind of similar for your first year as a head coach, you used Tyreek and Zach together. Is it kind of something where you kind of having that experience, you feel comfortable going to that because you've seen it in the past?
Yeah, it's funny. Hankins and I were texting the other day, and he said, "Man, I really like Nunji. He said he's a good player." He said, "Man, it's gonna be exciting when you." This was before we got Zach back. He said it's gonna be exciting to see kind of what you guys can do when you get Zach back out there. And I said, "Yeah." He said it's kind of gonna be like me and Tyreek. He said the same thing. And I said the difference is these guys can shoot a little bit. And he put LOL. He said, "Coach, I can shoot now." And I said, "Okay." But Zach and Tyreek were tremendous players, right? We had to kind of figure out that year how to get both those guys on the floor together, right? Defensively and offensively. And I think on the offensive end, you see the versatility we can have with Jack and Zach out there. Defensively, we're going to have to continue to figure that piece out a little bit. And that's going to be a work in progress. But we have a plan that we're implementing, because Zach's changing our team. When we have playing him at the 4, you're not really playing 4 guards. Zach's a forward. And, we got to utilize his strengths, which are much different than, say, a Jerome Hunter or a Colby Jones when they're playing that spot.
Travis, it was 74-36 tonight, and Paul had a chase down block on a blow by. Paul had a chase down block that leads to a run out for, I think it was DeJuan, for 2 points. And I thought it was kind of a microcosm of the whole game and the way that Paul has led this team vocally and on the court. And in a week like this, where you're playing Ball State before such an important game on Saturday, what kind of a play like that does that mean for a leader like Paul in a game, in a situation like this?
He's saying all the right things, right? He does in huddles, when going to scouting, practice, but his actions speak louder, right, than his words, right? He backs it up, and his maturity, he's come tenfold where he was when he first got to Xavier. I'm really proud of him, and he's leading our team. I keep on saying it. I give all the credit to guys like Paul, Jack, Nate, just their maturity level. They're older guys, obviously. They've been through a lot of wars, right? They've been through some tough losses, and they know. You see it all around college basketball, right? And like last night, I think it was Virginia lost to James Madison, right? And James Madison's got a good program, but still is considered probably an upset, right? The night before was Texas Southern over Florida. And anybody can beat anybody in college basketball, so you got to be ready. And you got to know you're going to get that other team's best shot, right? And that's hard. You got to get up for every game. You got to be ready.
You mentioned the slow start, and I think you actually made a 4-man change. But did you have to say anything, or did they know that you were not pleased, or how do you handle that when? Because I know that a big thing for you guys is you want to set the tone with that first 4 minutes, and then you want to play good, with the 10th war of the game, and everything in between, obviously. But
yeah, we want to win every war, but you do want to set the tone, like you said, and you only get one chance to get that first impression to that team, and didn't think we did that tonight. And we got to change that moving forward. But I told those guys in the timeout, listen, scoreboard's back to 0-0. That's what I say every single TV timeout, right? Don't look at the scoreboard. We're moving on to the second war. That's all that matters. You can't dwell on the past. You can't dwell on the previous possession. If you had a turnover or missed a shot, who cares? Move on. It's 0-0. Focus on the second war.
there's a big basketball game in here on Saturday. What's it like when you get done with the game before the shootout, and now you know that you get to go play the shootout, and you get to prepare for it, and you get to talk to your guys about it?
Yeah, it's this is why, like I tell our guys all the time, why you get up at 6 a.m. in the summer. These are the moments you live for. It's the best rivalry in all of college basketball. I told our guys, some of our guys have never experienced it, and the guys that were returning from last year's, I mean, the environment is going to be absolutely electric at 8:30 on Saturday night. It is going to be electric. It is a player's game. It's all about toughness, this game is. That's what wins this game. It's what's won this game for years. But it's a great rivalry. Listen, I know UC's having a really good year. I haven't seen them play. I'll start watching film, obviously, tonight. But, again, we're moving on very, very quickly to UC here.
Travis, Nate Johnson is shooting nearly 50% this season. Where does he compare in the shooters that you've seen in your time as a coach?
I think he's the best shooter in the country. He's the best shooter I've ever coached. I mean, just his consistency. I mean, he does it in practice, too, every single day. It's what I say. To start the year, I think he started off, I don't know what it was from three, but he had a couple off games. Listen, I told him those numbers will always bear themselves out over time. In practice, he shoots over 50% from three. So, in all live reps. So, he's a tremendous shooter. Our guys got confidence in him. They know to look for him. He creates a ton of space out there on the floor. I think he's done a good job of adding his shot fake to his game, kind of getting to his little spot, sometimes that little floater that he has. He's playing really, really well right now.
Yeah, he seems to have more confidence even pulling off the dribble now, one or two dribbles, pump fake. But this will be your fourth Crosstown Shootout. You've seen three different coaches on the sidelines in this game. Does that change anything in the way you prepare them undergoing some identity changes and personnel changes?
No. I'm going to watch film just like I watch film, and we're going to attack this game just like we normally attack this game. No, it doesn't change it. But I haven't even thought about, honestly, that they've had whatever it is in 4 years, and I could really care less.
You talked about Jerome Hunter a second earlier and just his different strengths. We saw today he was a little more not settling for threes and kind of driving to the rim. Is that the Jerome Hunter you want more of going forward?
Yeah, I want him to take the shots that are not rushed, and when he does that, he's a really good shooter. And then he's not just a shooter, though. He can straight line drive you. He can grab a rebound and go. He can play the passing lanes. He's long. He can impact the game in a lot of different ways. And that's what we need out of Jerome. Anytime you're a one-trick pony at this level, I feel like you're easy to guard. Right? Those guys are a dime a dozen. There's a million of those guys. Guys that can impact the game in a lot of different ways, those guys are hard to take out, right? It's like, man, they're defending, they're rebounding, they're making plays for others. Then they are scoring a little bit as well, right? Again, everything, I told him this in our meeting. Ever since he was little, because I'm coaching Winston's, my third grader son's team, and everybody cares about one thing and one thing only at that age, scoring, right? But there's so much more that goes into winning. And the guys that do all those other things, right, that don't get glorified are the guys that end up playing a lot of minutes. So I'm proud of his ability to impact the game in multiple ways tonight.
The big men situation with Zach now back, it seems like you've sort of stuck to Zach and Jack playing together, Jerome and Deontay playing together. I'm sure you've probably, gotten away from that here and there a little bit, but is that sort of just easing the process back into it? Like, hey, let's get these two guys familiar with playing with one another and these two guys familiar. But do you hope to eventually get to a point where you can sort of mix and match all those big guys in whatever way you like?
Yeah, I think, when you add a guy like Zach back into the fold, we've had kind of our rotations they're not set in stone ever because you earn everything in practice, but you've got to have them set for the first 6 games in a way. And then you throw Zach back in there, and it's like, man, it's just going to create a mess a little bit as far as your rotations go, right? So we're figuring that out. We'll play Zach together with Deontay, Jerome together with Jack. I don't really care. It's just kind of how it worked out tonight a little bit, Adam. But, again, I think all those lineups can be really good for us, and we got to evaluate them over a longer period of time to see which lineups are the best in certain situations. Thanks, guys.